Good afternoon, everyone. I hope that you enjoyed your lunch and you are stationed as we continue our program for this afternoon. My name is Dr. Letitia Hagler, and I serve as this year's chair for our CalWORKs Student Voices, and I also serve as the Region 8 rep, and I also serve as the proud CalWORKs director of Mount San Antonio College. Go Mounties! So I also want to take this time to introduce our co-chair, Ms. Letty Campoy.
Hi, everyone. As Tisha had mentioned, I'm Leticia Campoy. I'm the CWA Region 7 rep, and I also work for LA City College as a case manager. Thank you and welcome.
So we are certainly excited about our student panel for this year's annual training institute. We know that this is definitely one of the highlights of one of our, throughout the conference, and it's definitely a time where we're able to glean from the experiences and the lived experiences from our students, our very own CalWORKs students. So as you can tell, we do have our students in the room and they have panel in front of their names. If not, that's okay. We'll be able to identify them. But we do have questions that we have asked the field to give us that we're able to provide to our students. And they have lots of great things to share with us today. So one thing that we did have the opportunity to share with our students is that they are a little nervous. So we told them that they are with family, okay? They are with family. There are no right or wrong answers here, that we are literally here to learn from their experiences, okay? And so when you see this, students, know that this is our, what do we call it? This is just our way of applauding you. This is our way of thanking you. This is our way of just rooting for you. I know that it is difficult, of course, in a virtual setting, not being able to hear and hear the expressions and from the audience, but just know that we are definitely rooting for you. So before we get directly into the student panel, I just want to screen share and just share just a little information with everyone. So again, this is our CalWORKs Student Voices panel. As you can see here, these are some of the pictures from some of our winners for this year's scholarship opportunity. So we know that as students submit their inspiring stories, it is an opportunity for students to receive a scholarship awarded from the CalWORKs Association board. So the work that takes place with CalWORKs Student Voices, it's definitely a partnership. And as you can see, these are all the wonderful people that I had the pleasure of serving alongside Mr. Michael Hopper from Los Angeles Trade Tech College, Ms. Letty Campoy, who you all met previously, Ms. Cheryl Sumner Gonzalez from ABC, and myself. So we've all had the opportunity to work on this project, and it is a massive project, but it is definitely rewarding that we have the opportunity to read all 286 stories. Yes, you are correct, 286 stories, and we're able to compile this project, but it's definitely an honor, and it's definitely a rewarding experience to, again, work alongside these incredible individuals. So I know that many colleges are wondering, hey, when do we get a copy of the actual publication? Well, the publication, it will be available on the CWA website. So if you check back sometime next week, by hopefully the 30th of next week, it will be accessible for everyone to view online on the CWA's website. And then what we also will provide for all colleges, we will provide you with two things. One, we will provide you with a print-ready PDF of the complete publication, and then also just your college's stories. So if you would like to print out the entire publication, you're able to do so. Or if you would like to print out just your college's stories, you'll be able to do so as well. And we'll be able to have, we'll share those PDFs with you by May 14th. So again, as I indicated, this year's Student Voices, we did have a total of 286 stories, composing of 73 colleges, all 10, yay, all 10 regions were representative in amongst our student voices, and we were able to provide 22 students with scholarships that equated to $11,000. So again, we're very, very grateful for this opportunity, and of course, being able to invest back in the lives of our students. And so here is again an overview of all the students that were awarded scholarships, whether they were a regional winner, an affinity group winner, or a statewide winner. And now I have the pleasure of welcoming our dynamic student speakers who have graciously and courageously volunteered their time to again serve on our student panel. Again, we're so honored that they have agreed to be a part of this student panel, and we are looking forward to hearing from them. We are looking forward to learning from them. If you do have questions, if you have comments, we're going to ask that you will put those in the chat, and we will do our best to get to those. Now, we may not be able to get to all of our questions, given that we did have questions predetermined that our students will be speaking to. And but should you have additional feedback or questions, you're more than welcome to put them in the chat, and Letty and I, we will be sure to monitor accordingly. So at this time, I'm going to stop screen sharing. All right. So at this time, we want to introduce our student panel. And our student panel, it composes of 5 students. So at this time, we know which order that we're going to go in. So Sophia, we're going to begin with you. And students, if you can make sure to unmute yourselves. Sophia, are you?
Thank you. It was not allowing me to unmute.
Uh-oh, okay.
Yeah, so we're good now. Hi, everybody. Good afternoon. I really don't know what to say besides a little bit of who I am, and I apologize in advance. My little one has been a little bit under the weather, so if he gets a little cranky, I'm sorry. So first of all, my name is Sofia Jimenez, and I am 30 years old. I am attending Porterville College at the moment, where I have so far received 2 associate degrees, one in communication, as well as the other being in bio and physical science. I also was very honored to get in on my first try to the registered nursing program there at PC. And I also am concurrently working on my BSN through University of Phoenix on my breaks of the nursing program. I'm also a certified nurse assistant. And my aspiration, once I do receive my registered nursing license, is to work in either the NICU or at a veterans hospital. So yeah, that's a little bit about me. And I'm also a musician, but I'll mention that a little later.
Awesome. Thank you, Sophia.
You're welcome.
Bethany.
Hello, everybody. I'm Bethany St. Smith. I'm a student at Modesto Junior College up here in Stanislaus County. I am a social sciences major, and this week I am getting 2 associates, one in criminal justice and the other in social and behavioral sciences. And in the summer, I'll be completing my psychology associate, and I'm transferring to Stan State University to get my bachelor's in social sciences. Thank you so much. I'm very excited about that. And the last thing I just want to say that I'm really thankful for with the CalWORKs Association is the allocation of that time to identify resourceful ways in which I can enrich my life. So thank you.
Awesome. Thank you, Bethany. Devon.
Hello, everyone. I'm Davon Crawford. I am a student at Berkeley City College. I am a pre-nursing student. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, I'm a pre-nursing student. I have an associate's degree in general education that I received 10 years ago. So I'm a returning student actually. And yeah, my aspirations are to get into a nursing program, hopefully after the summer session has ended for like the fall or spring semester. And eventually I'm planning to become a certified nurse midwife. So that's the ultimate goal. One way that the CalWORKs program has helped me is by providing services such as the EOPS program. That program has been such a major factor in my life. The counselors that I work with, awesome, dynamic. I work with Leticia Perez, and I also work with Miss Ramona Butler. They're awesome, provide many resources and hold space for me all the time. Thank you.
Thank you, Davon.
Hi, my name is Michael Estrada. Sorry about that.
That's okay. Go ahead.
I'm a business administration major at Citrus College. My career goals are to become an administrator for community college and to become a social and environmental entrepreneur. One way the CalWORKs programs helped me is just making their time readily available for me. I didn't have many positive influences coming in here, and it's kind of been hard. So they've made their time available for me, even when they've appeared busy. They've always been here to push me and keep me enrolled in school. So I'm grateful for that. Without them, I may have been a little bit harder. Thank you.
Thank you, Mike. And last but not least, Ms. Giselle.
Hi, I'm Giselle Ugarte, and I'm currently working on my associates in film media and media arts at Southwestern College. My aspiration is to be a filmmaker after I transfer to university. A way that CalWORKs has supported me is by being there for me in a time of need, and also providing like all the resources throughout the semester for me to be able to transfer. So thank you.
Thank you, Giselle. And again, thank you to each of our students who are serving on this year's panel. At this time, we do want to hear from our student keynote speaker. So every year, as we are selecting our students for scholarships, we also recognize just one statewide winner. And today we do have Ms. Davon Crawford from Berkeley City College. Woohoo! She has again graciously agreed to share with us on today. She has a very inspiring story, and she has great aspirations to assist in the nursing field. And there are a lot of the great things that we can learn from her on today. So without further ado, Davon, the floor is yours.
All right. Thank you again to the CalWORKs program. To receive this scholarship, like on a statewide level, it blew my mind. My kids and I are still celebrating, to this day. I just can't thank you all enough. So I just basically wanted to start with that. Just again, sending my gratitude to you all for offering, this scholarship. And again, I want to circle back around to the importance of having EOPS at schools, because I wouldn't have even learned about the program had it not been for EOPS and my amazing counselors there. Like I said, they're counselors, but they also show up as mentors and like a community space. And that community holding has not ended even since the pandemic has hit. I thought that maybe, there'd be some kind of distance, or, the communication wouldn't be as strong. But I mean, we have like monthly check-ins. My counselors are always asking me, to check in. And they really support my path in nursing. I talk with some of my study mates, because I have lots of study partners these days in my life. They tell me how counselors often, kind of discourage them, or, something to that degree, but not my counselors. Like, they encourage me all the way. They're surprised when I'm telling them, I'm taking 5 classes this semester, and they're all like really hard classes. They totally support that. And they push me along the way. Also providing many resources, again, like I mentioned before. But I just wanted to basically highlight you all at first, and then kind of give you an introduction of myself. Well, I kind of gave you part of it, but I'm also, like I said, I'm a full-time student. I also run a small business, so to speak. Where I'm a doula. I provide doula services. I'm also a single mother of 4. I have 4 beautiful children. I have a 16-year-old, a 9-year-old, an 8-year-old, and a 7-year-old. Everyone's distance learning, so that's definitely been a challenge, especially in this pandemic. But nonetheless, CalWORKs has put me in a position to where I'm able to have that small business and get clients when I'm able to. Also support my kids as they, distance learn. And it also supports me as a student, a full-time student, working to transition into the university. If you all don't know what a doula is, I'd like to share some of that information, because it's strong communal work. And that's why I really love CalWORKs, because it allows me to put back into my community. So basically, a doula is someone who holds space, basically, for pregnant families before, during, and after birth. And we also provide other, female reproductive services. Sometimes there's even like death doulas, or doulas that provide support for cancer patients, or someone struggling with mental health or something like that. But for me, I'm a birth doula. And that's pretty much what I do when I can. Since the pandemic, things have turned, and I don't get to support as many people as I'd like, but I also do a lot of community work. And I'm currently working with the Commission for Women and Girls in Solano County, and we're making change in the community in preparation to help change the statistics that Black women face in the hospital setting, and in the nation in general. We have the lowest birth outcomes, and we're hoping to change some of those statistics. And through doula work, that's one way. Another way is to get more Black and people of color in the medical fields, and every other field, but speaking to birth, in the medical field, in labor and delivery, because statistics show when you have a medical professional that looks like you and can, they can more than likely support you more than someone who doesn't look like you or understand your circumstances, who you are from a society and community base. We know that when you have someone that looks like you, outcomes become better. So I'm hoping to make change in that regard. Let's see what else I can say. That's another reason why I want to become a nurse midwife, to not only provide services in a hospital, but because we have, pandemics and things like that that are occurring, and who knows when it's going to end. We also need private, centers, care centers, and things like that. So my ultimate goal is to open up a birth center here in the Bay Area to support families who will also like to birth at home. So being able to kind of transition between both of those arenas. And lastly, I just, again, let me see, I have notes here. Highlight again how CalWORKs has, I basically want to highlight again how CalWORKs has helped support me. Again, highlighting that EOPS program has been major. Through those programs, they've offered, or through that program, they've offered gift certificates that kind of like helped me through the pandemic. CalWORKs has also been adding like food, like bonus, as far as like a food voucher is concerned. Like I get an extra bonus. That helps me so much. I just want to say thank you for that, because my kids are home. They're constantly eating, they're growing children. And so that extra stipend has really gone a long way. And yeah, I think that's pretty much it. If there's questions, I'm absolutely open and willing to answering them. But I kind of gave you the gist of who I am, what I do, and how I want to continue to support and help our community as a whole.
Awesome. Thank you, Davon. If we do have questions, you can put them in the chat, but Davon, I just want to read some of the feedback in the chat if you haven't had the opportunity to read it. Congratulations. Thank you for inspiring us. Bless you. Thank you. Congrats to all of our scholars. You are such an inspiration. You are resilient. Let's see. Yeah, so that's just some of the feedback again. Thank you for sharing your amazing work and your amazing vision. Thank you for what you do.
Thank you.
Awesome. So again, thank you so much, Davon, can Davon put her professional contact information? If you can share your information. So Davon, I knew that this was going to come up. If you can share your website with us, folks, please be sure to visit Ms. Crawford's website. Again, you can have the opportunity to review all of her services and testimonials of people that have utilized her services. So as she indicated, you are stationed in the Bay Area, correct, Davon?
Yeah, so I currently live in Vallejo, Solano County, but I serve all of the Bay Area and into Sacramento. So definitely have a wide range of folks that I serve. I put my information in the chat, but I'll also verbally tell you all, and I hope it came up correctly. But my business is called Divine Birthright, and that's www.divinebirthright.com.
Okay, Devon, you may have sent it directly to someone.
Uh-oh. Yeah.
Click everyone.
Okay.
I make that mistake all the time too. It's all right. If you could just make sure it's highlighted with everyone, then everyone in today's session will be able to access your information.
Got it.
Well, again, as Davon is entering her information there, folks, if we can give her a round of applause again for serving as our keynote speaker and sharing those words of wisdom with us in ways in which the CalWORKs program has been supportive for you and your family, and has helped you to really expand even your business and expand your career aspirations. So thank you again, Davon. We hope that this won't be the ending of our time together, but of course, as you shared that you love pouring back into your community, you enjoy pouring back into systems and individuals that have been supportive for you. So thank you again.
Thank you.
So as we continue on with our panel on today, we have again a series of questions that we have that we would like our students to answer. And our very first question is number one. I'll read the question out loud, and then we'll allow Giselle, Mike, and Bethany to answer in that order. And we've shared a little bit about this just in the introduction, but I believe that we're all interested in knowing in terms of what has worked and what has not worked well, or what we can do better at in supporting our students. So the question is as follows. While we all customize our college programs to support our students, what would you say are the top services that supported your success in college? So we'll start with Giselle, we'll move to Mike, and we'll end with Bethany.
Hello? Okay. Hi, can you guys hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay. I would say some of the top services would definitely be the guidance and like the counseling, the one-on-one, like video Zoom calls or over the phone calls, I feel like that has been the most helpful because as I mentioned before, I do plan on transferring. So it made the transferring process like much more easier. If I needed like extra help with like my application, or if I needed certain requirements like to fill out, I would just contact um, one of the counselors and they would be able to help me out. Or if like I needed something last minute and I needed to talk to somebody to ask for advice or get help, they would always make sure to like book an appointment for me like the soonest available. Another service would be the workshops that they provided. So there was like a bunch of transfer workshops, workshops for scholarships, which is how I found out about this current scholarship. So I feel like those services really helped me out throughout my both semesters that I joined CalWORKs. So yeah.
Thank you, Giselle. Mike.
I would agree with Giselle on that being my top, that being the top priority for me has been their availability that they've given to me, especially during the pandemic. I needed to be on camera. I needed to see people, and when that was removed from me, both in like therapy sessions and in my personal life school, that kind of hit hard. But I appreciate how the program helps me ease my financial burden by providing an array of services and assistance, and it's helped me make my budget more flexible. Examples would be like any of the type of grants I've received or gift cards to Walmart. That's definitely helped ease some of my stress. Most importantly, I appreciate the additional work study service. It's allowed me to go to work and regain some of the dignity that I've lost without being penalized in benefits or in health insurance. And it's allowed for me to make investments in my child's education and here at home as well, trying to save up to get a car and work on some other things that my past may have affected. But those are the top things.
Thank you, Mike. Bethany.
Hi, everyone. So a few things that have really helped me in paving my success at Modesto Junior College as far as services go. We're so unclear in the beginning. I was so confused about who was doing what. But more importantly, I needed support. Somebody who really understood what it took to get from A to B. And that person was our program coordinator, Mary Everhart. And she was just a program coordinator. She's doing so many things, but she always took the time out of her day to make sure I understood exactly what direction I needed to go in order to get what I needed. So the program director services were extremely important for me. The constant communication with her support, Brenna, thank you so much. And then having a counselor that was specific to us and priority registration gave us this resource that we don't normally have. Many of us students were brought up in situations that didn't have this look at college. We don't know what we're going for when we get there. We don't know how to, exfoliate when we're in it. So having these people scrub and say, this is what's going on. Do you see the canvas more clearly? Yeah, it helps a lot. These services are important to us. They are actual physical tools that we can hold on to and utilize. So it was a wonderful experience as far as that.
Awesome. Thank you, Bethany. And Sophia.
Hello. First of all, I wanted to extend my gratitude to everybody that works in the CalWORKs program. I forgot to mention that a little bit earlier. But as far as the services I feel that have helped me personally is of course, helping to relieve the financial burden of paying for class, especially the RN program that's so goodness expensive. But one of the things that I think has helped me the most is having priority registration for the sciences specifically, because I have a lot of classmates that they were applying 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 semesters and still couldn't get into chemistry or still couldn't get into anatomy. And to me, having that first pick of my courses, I know helped me get into the RN program and being able to focus just on those certain classes one at a time. So I wouldn't have to take, those 4 classes and be stressing out. So yeah, I think, like I said, that's been the most helpful. And as well as having our counselors and our CalWORKs family that have helped me through the struggles that I've gone through in both personal and, emotional, mental things that have been going on throughout the years. And that helps with the accountability of not only yourself, but being able to have somebody check up on you and say, hey, what's going on? Why did you get, this score on this test? And, just keep track of yourself and do better each time.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Sophia. Before we go on to the next question, Bethany, I'm going to circle back and come back to you. During our time together, when we were going over the questions, you had brought to my attention that additionally, one of the services that you have found extremely helpful was preparation for transfer. Could you share a little bit about that and how that has aided to your success?
Absolutely. First, I want to say openly and honestly that transferring was not something that was part of the curriculum possibility for Stanislaus County. And I was working so hard in school, and we all have similar stories, and I try not to talk too much about the past because I've worked so hard to maintain this present, but it is a true part of who I am. I did not finish school in high school in 2001. I went to school. It was never academics that was the issue. So many years later, 2018, I went back to get my GSE, and I worked really hard to be able to pass that in a few months, and then got right into college. And as soon as I got there, my counselor was like, all right, we want to put a plan in for you to get your master's. And I'm like, isn't that like a ways out? And she was like, yeah, but start planning for it now. And I'm like thinking, all I'm seeing is dollar signs in my head, right? All I see is dollar signs, and I'm thinking, you're crazy. And so I worked really hard. As you guys know who are full-time students, sometimes I was taking more than full-time, always at least full-time. And then as my 2 years is coming up, I've got 2 associate's degrees under my belt and a third on the way. And I'm thinking, I don't think I can go to the university level because I need to start working now. And, I was told, yeah, you're self-sufficient. It's a good time for you to get up and going. There, there's a lot of room for you out there in the workforce. And I'm thinking, yes, but I'm a Black woman. I'm a Black woman. And with an associate's degree, I might get what my counterpart white male high school dropout might get. There's no equality in this. I pressed and I talked with somebody who was a supervisor in CalWORKs, and he heard me so clearly. And all I said was, please, please offer us this opportunity to go to the next step, just the next step. I'll do the rest. And he said, Bethany, I'm going to get back to you tomorrow. I said, okay. So tomorrow, right at the time that I expected him to call, he called and said, no one will ever tell you no with CalWORKs. You will be moving forward. You can do this, and we believe in you. And now we've opened this door for other students in our county to be able to go forward to the university level. So with that being said, transferring process, the transition specialist, that role needs to be filled. I have a wonderful support team at MJC, but I'm also looking for support from the university level, and there's nobody at the university that I'm transferring to that works with CalWORKs. So that's a big opportunity. And I just wanted to say one last thing real quick is I was in a meeting this week for the Black Student Union, and one of the program coordinators there, she said, well, it looks like you've got some work to do. So I'm going to try to get it together to see what we can do to marry the situation, but transfer. If you have it in you, transfer, get the work done, get the funding done, and you can make it happen. Thank you so much.
Yes, Bethany, you hit it on. That's it. Thank you.
Exactly.
And then the mic drops, right? Thank you so much, Bethany. Letty?
Yes. So the other question, please tell us about something you love to do, just the act of doing that thing, something other than schoolwork or taking care of your children or family members. We're going to go in the order of Devon, Sophia, and Bethany. Go ahead, Devon.
Okay. Yeah, I had to think about this, but not really that hard because I just recently had a birthday on Saturday and I was gifted, thank you. I was gifted the gift of a facial and a massage. And I'm like, why wasn't I ever thinking about, doing this before? When I tell you that that facial and that massage really just relaxed me, put me in a whole new mental state, it really did, and reset me. The break that I had during spring break did no justice. All I did was think about school. But when I got those self-care services, they really just totally pushed the reset button for me. And so now I'm hoping to be able to implement something like self-care on a physical level moving forward. And then also, it's not something that I've done, but something that I'm very interested in doing or having some resources for, and that is for my mental health. So of course, I have a high stress life, kids, business, school. So having resources to more mental health services would be so amazing. And I believe there are some resources out there in regards to, therapists for just Black women or people of color. And to be able to have that would be a game changer in my life as well. So that's something I'm really interested in doing as well.
Thank you. And once again, happy belated birthday.
Thank
Sophia?
you.
Oh, she cannot mute herself.
Okay, there we go. All right.
Okay.
So one thing that I love to do that obviously when you look at the outside of a book, you can't really tell what's on the inside, right? So I actually have been playing mariachi since I was 15. But I've been around it all of my life. And that actually not only turned into my hobby, something that I love, but I also work as, I have my own mariachi. So that's my me time. Being in the nursing field, you have to have that self-care, like Devon was saying. You have to have a time where you can just unwind. And to me, when I grab my violin, when I'm getting down on stage, to me, that's just so therapeutical for myself. Of course, I love being with my 4 children, my youngest being 8 months, but sometimes it's so nice just to get away and not have to think about school, not have to worry about homework, just going out and, having fun and at the same time making money. Why not do it? So that's my love.
Thank you. You probably want to leave your information on the chat regarding the mariachi, if you don't mind. Yes. Okay, Bethany?
From one musician to another, Sophia. So I've done music my whole life. I started that at a very young age, and I began singing in like 2001, and I moved to San Francisco, New York City, Argentina, and I had several bands and put out albums. Yes, you can find it on YouTube. But something that really spoke to me, just like Devon said, is wanting to put something back. I mean, I love singing, I love getting on stage. But I hit a wall once I realized I wanted to come, back to school and do things a different way for my life. And I started writing, and I wrote 2 books about one getting out of domestic violence, and the other one is about surviving it. And both of those books are on Amazon. So writing is something that has been something I'm extremely passionate about, and I love to advocate for women who have been through it and who deserve a little bit more time.
Well, thank you so much. Tasha?
Yes. All right. So we are definitely learning about different businesses and music and books and different services that our students are providing and have their, again, sewing back into the community and giving back to those who have been inspirational and those who have been a part of their success journey. So thank you all for sharing your information with us. So question number 3. And Mike, we're going to start with you. The question is, when you found yourself struggling in school, and I think as some have mentioned before, as we're have just recently experienced a national pandemic, and it seems as if it's a continuation from 2020 now that we're in 2021. When you found yourself struggling in school, what was the main cause of that struggle? Was it academic and college related, or was it related to a source other than college? If your college could have done anything to support you during that struggle, what could we have done better? Mike, we'll start with you. We'll go to Giselle and Sophia.
Thank you. No, my struggles have all been related to my my panic disorder. I have severe panic disorder. I have very low stress tolerance. I have a lot of trauma from when I was a kid, and I don't, everything I've done bad at Citrus has, if you look at my transcripts, it's either A's or W's with me, and a lot of that has to do with my not being able to finish things. A lot of people always wonder why I can do so well at something and then I become self-destructive, but I don't think they ever realize, like, I'm just trying to survive and prevent a nervous breakdown. I've been trying to take over a little girl since she was born. Her mom's been in prison, and I come from a very abusive household, and I've seen and experienced every kind of abuse. And so it's hard to feel normal. And that's always going to be my struggle. I hope one day I can fix that, but I'm obsessed right now with doing well in school and trying to get out of poverty. That's my number one goal, and that's the thing that's some of the times keeping me from going to the next level as well. I put a lot of pressure on myself to do well, unless the school is able to convince the government that there's people out there like me, and able to influence the, temporary assistance for needy families, and then their time. They've done an amazing job. They've done everything they could to help me get through. And there's nothing, in my opinion, that they could do better. So I'm grateful for them.
Thank you, Mike. And you may, if you have an opportunity, might just look in the chat. You're getting a lot of encouraging words. So thank you, Mike. Giselle. Giselle, are you there?
I don't think she could unmute herself.
Okay.
Okay, there.
Yeah, there
Got
she
it.
is.
Okay, so I would agree with Mike that I've had all the support that I've needed so far. Last year, when I was pregnant, a little bit before the pandemic hit, I believe the school semester was going to end soon, right around the same time I was going to give birth. So I was a little bit overwhelmed. I was under a lot of pressure because I was enrolled full time. So I was kind of struggling, and I was in need to, I wasn't sure if I should continue school or like take a break. But with the support, like with the CalWORKs program and all the counselors and guidance that I had, I was able to pull through and have that guidance, that extra like helping hand to help me continue my my educational career, because I know that I've always wanted to continue with that. And I was told by a bunch of people that like once you have a baby, that changes your life. And I didn't necessarily take it as a bad thing. I took it as something that I could learn from, something that I could grow from as well. And I ended up receiving all the support that I needed. And because of that, I was able to like pull through and still be able to succeed at such a young age as well. Um, so I'm really thankful for the program. Um, and that has been really helpful. And that has also been what has been pushing me forward to continue to get my bachelor's degree at the university level. So thank you.
Thank you, Giselle. Sophia.
Okay, so my toughest time was in 2019. My late brother, US Navy veteran, passed away at the age of 35. And at that time, I was taking one of my courses for the nursing program. He passed away on a Tuesday. By that Thursday, I had to come back and take an exam before I could even attend class again. And he was my only sibling, and I was the only one there when he passed away because he didn't want anybody else in our family to be there. So to me, that was really hard. That was a moment in my life where I completely broke down. However, he completely built me back up at the same time. I always say it was the worst and best experience of my life, because that showed me how tough I really am. And it showed me that if I can be there with my only sibling to see him pass away, I think I'll be a pretty good nurse. And the way that CalWORKs helped me through that again was through the accountability, and always having my brother's words that he always used to tell me, kick butt, sister, you can do it. You can do it. Every day, that was his daily thing. You can do it, kick butt, kick today's butt, he'd always say. So that's also something that really has shaped me, as well as prior to getting accepted to the nursing program, my ex-husband now, at the time, we had decided to, try for our little one. And we did, and 2 months into the nursing program, we split. So it's been very hard, emotionally, mentally, financially, et cetera, to get through the program. But it's such a blessing to have a little one, obviously apart from my other 3 children, to inspire you every single day that you can do it because you're doing it for them.
Sophia, if I could just steal that phrase, kick today's butt, I think everybody loves it, right? Yes.
Yes.
Kick today's butt. And it just goes to show just how resilient our CalWORK students are, how you all are so resilient, and just knowing that throughout life's obstacles and challenges, you are still persevering through. So thank you for kicking today's butt. Letty?
I agree. Yeah, definitely. Before I read the next question, I wanted to point this out. Mike, I'm not sure if you're able to see the chats on the comments. There's one that kind of stand out. It says, Mike, you have many strengths and gifts, so keep going forward one day at a time. And everything you can imagine, one day at a time, and everything you imagine will come to you. Never give up. With that being said, the question for you is, tell me about your experience as a CalWORKs dad.
Yeah, I want to thank everyone for all those nice comments. And I wanted to respond, but I just wanted to give the attention to the next speaker as well. So they were all really encouraging. My experience as a CalWORK dad is probably this. It's just virtually the same as a CalWORKs mom. Just a little different struggles. I come from my entire family is single mothers, so I was raised with women. I'm just trying to do what I can for my baby. It's nothing special. I love that little girl with all my heart, and I aside from some prejudices that I've had to deal with, it's really, it triggers me a little bit, but everyone has their thing. You know, I've been told about being able-bodied, and this is coming from people at DPSS or my, you know, I've had to change therapy a couple times because they've told me that I wasn't, healed yet, or maybe they're just in shock. So, able-bodied is what I hear a lot of the times. But I don't care. That getting this little girl, breaking our cycle, our poverty cycles, is my biggest goal. So as far as that question goes, I mean, anything a single mom's gone through, it's I probably had to, they'll go through the same thing. So just a little differently, but yeah, that's really all I have for that. Thank you.
Thank you, Mike.
Thanks, Mike. Just one comment that I want to just share from Zach. Again, you are such an inspiration, Mike. Sorry, I'm reading Anna Sylvia's quote. So from Zach, don't sell yourself short, Michael. It's the love for your baby that makes you special.
Definitely.
Thank you again. So before we move on to our last question, I know that we're coming to the end of our time together. In reviewing the chat, I did notice a few of our other scholarship winners who are on the line today. And I believe Tanisha Hill, let me find you. Tanisha, if you could just give us just a quick minute. Let me ask to unmute you. Are you there, Tanisha?
Yes, ma'am, I'm here.
Okay, so hi, Tanisha. I know that you were also one of our scholarship winners, and we just want to give you a quick moment to share with us today and make you a part of today's panel.
Thank you. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Tanisha Hill. 34 years old. I attend MPC. I am a mother of 5 boys. I am in school for youth probation officer and social work. So I will be transferring to CSUMB. CalWORKs has helped me tremendous, as I didn't think I would be able to push forward and do school with having as many kids as I have. And even though I have a husband that supports, you all mothers already know you want to take on every single thing that's going on with your kids and not really try so much worried about yourself. So I had to make a hard decision to say how I'm going to do this, how I'm going to do this with 5 boys, how I'm going to do this being an athlete at school as well. And I play basketball and I run track. And I was just doing that as far as just taking care of my mental illness, finding outlets on how can I release some pressure or give some space and some time for me to do things that I like to do, as well as learning, as well as still being there for my children. CalWORKs has taught me to keep pushing even when I don't want to, and to know that I'm not alone in a lot of things, and just to know that they have my back. And that is like one of the biggest things that I love when people do that for me, because I always try to extend a hand to anybody else that I see that's going through anything. So just to have, it's hard to trust strangers sometimes when your world is sometimes chaotic. So it's kind of hard to put trust in so many people when ahead of time, maybe in high school, middle school, there's a lot of people that have failed you. So I think I was kind of scared of that at first. And I was like, how am I going to do this? I don't even know if I can graduate. I don't even know, am I smart enough to even go through college and even transfer? But the same instance as we teach our kids, your kids teach you as well. And when my kids say, Mom, I'm so proud of you. And oh my gosh, Mom, you still can play basketball. And oh my gosh, you still can do these things. And Mom, they think you're 20 years old and you still doing this like those young girls. When you hear that from your children, it just makes you and lets you know you're doing something right, And just my 5 boys, that is like my everything. That is like my joy. So just me making a decision on me going to school, they're the ones that said, do it without even saying doing it. I want to show them, as much as I push you to do things and do well, mommy's doing the same thing. So I guess it's kind of like a back and forth energy that we have in the house. And it's just amazing to me. And that I graduate in May and I'm transferring, and I'm just like, it's still unreal surreal for me. Like, I can't believe I did it. And I had a lot of obstacles pushed against me. You know, my youngest son, he had Kawasaki disease. You know, he almost, you know, died. And, you know, our family became homeless at one point, you know, because, you know, certain landlords. And I just thank God I still was going through school, living in a car, doing my homework on my phone. You know, my kids like, Mom, are you okay? And Mom, are we okay? And trying to figure out what's next and where we gonna stay at next, where we gonna eat next. And I just thank God that I still had the strong mind that I have of praying and having my family and my kids, and still even having CalWORKs extending their help, helping my family, helping me getting to somewhere, and still giving me space to breathe, and still saying, I know you still can do it. I still want you to push. And it's amazing to me, us women and men too. It's so amazing how us women just have this sense and this strength when it comes to kids, and we just steady do whatever we need to do, no matter what obstacles is pushed against us. So I just thank God for my school to believe in me, to not only hear me say that I can do it myself, but as far as my school, an entity, to say you can do it, even with someone that looks like me. It's hard for me to still grasp in this world that I still have people that are there for me besides this racist world that is going on. I had to put that to the side and really look and see who's there for me. So I just thank God that I have people of all minorities and all colors that are there for me. And I can just sit here and say, I know what support looks like. I know what someone being there looks like. And I know that I don't have to be by myself. Even when I transferred to another school, I have people I can hit up at 5 o'clock in the afternoon, 10 o'clock at night, and say, I don't know how to do this class. I'm stressed. I don't think I can do it. And I immediately get a text back and they say, yes, you can. Take a breather, take a moment, look at your family, look how far you came. And sometimes I have to look at far I came to say, no, I cannot stop. I cannot take 10 steps back. Where is that going to get me? So I just thank God for my school, for people who had my back, and also for myself to just keep pushing forward and doing what I need to do, even on top of, you know, Mr. Mike, as you explained, you know, you had some mental illness as well as I do. I have bipolar depression. So just me having those up and downs and still smiling through that, I have to thank God, and I have to thank my school, and just that the family that God blessed me with, and me able having an opportunity to be a teacher to everyone else as well. You know, everyone's story is a teacher. So I just thank God that my story can be that teacher to everyone else.
Wow, Tanisha. If you just take a moment and again, just go through the comments and the chat, you could just see all the praise, all the gratitude and the inspiring words that have been shared to you. Folks, again, listen, I know that we are coming close to our time of ending as we move on to our next session. And just an hour is just not enough time, right? It's not enough time for us to really hear from all of our students. And I do see your direct messages of we have more students who are on today's, who are in attendance with today's session. And the panelists, I know that we had one more question scheduled, but that's okay. We do want to allow our winner from Region 7 to have an opportunity to speak. But Tanisha, just thank you again for sharing those words. Thank you again for encouraging us. Thank you for your transparency. Thank you again. I love those words that you indicated, that you said, you can do it. You can do it. And I know that there are moments and times where you have to remind yourself as you're getting those text messages late at night or early in the morning, where you just need that affirmation. You need that words of wisdom and support to get you over those hard times. So thank you again. So folks, we're going to have our Region 7, one of our Region 7 winners from GCC.
Me, Garina.
Yes.
Yes. Hi, everyone. Thank you. Really, I appreciate CalWORKs family. You are my family. I'm here. It's 3 years that I'm here, and CalWORKs has been, and it is my family. And in in Glendale Community College, I worked. I not only I studied, but I learned very important lessons for my life. And CalWORKs encouraged me to continue my education, to love others, have accept love, and um, uh, give love to others. And I really appreciate CalWORKs, and because my native language isn't English, they spoke to me in a way that I understood very well, and they gave me self-esteem, and I feel myself that I'm a part of this country. I'm the part of these people. They help me, and I assure all of you that I will help my people and other Americans. And I only wanted to appreciate for financial assistance that CalWORKs gave me, and emotional assistance. Thank you. Thank you. And I love all of you.
Thank you so much, Karina. Thank you so much again. So again, we want to just take this time to thank our panelists so much. All of our students who were here today, those who served on the panel, and even those who may be in attendance today, who may not have had an opportunity to share. We just want to tell you, thank you again for sharing your story, if it was during today's session or if it was during in the publication. We are so honored that you've taken the time to join with us today. Letty, do you have any final words for us?
Yes, want to thank everyone for attending this meeting, and thank you, student panels, for sharing your story. Now we wait until next year.
Yes, we know that this is definitely the highlight of our ATI, and we definitely know just from this year and from years prior, we just know we need more time, as we have a lot of great information that's being shared from our students, and they have a powerful story that they share with us, and we want to make time and room for that. So again, thank you, everyone. Thank you so much. And we hope that you enjoyed the rest of today and the rest of all the sessions scheduled for ATI.